Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another video, and today I will be checking out Resolve's new album called Human. With this record, I saved pretty much all of it for this video / my first listen to the album. I did do Move to Trash when that dropped initially, as well as Older Days, but I did the collab version with the multiple vocalists. They had 1056 and Paleface Swiss on the track, and as I understand it, the album version will be different and won't include the features, so it'll be my first time listening through that version. So all that being said, I am excited to check this out. Their last release was fantastic. Move to Trash is a great song, and Older Days, the way that they did the features on that track was just phenomenal. So expectations are high going into this. I will link all of the band's promotional links, social media, all of that in the description of this video. I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it. We will pull up the music videos when they exist. Otherwise, I'll probably just have the album art over here. But we are going to start with the title track, which is also the opener of the album, Human. Oh. It was hard not to listen to any of the singles, but I think I made the right decision. Synthy breakdown. All the best sides of Resolve.
My wings have turned to ashes.
Ooh. That is tasty. That is quite the opener. Oh, wow. You know what? March. Maybe I did listen to this one and then held off after my video. I'm pretty sure I covered this on the channel though, and then I've been avoiding their Spotify page like nobody's business. Yeah, definitely. On the channel. I remember the video for sure, and that Death Awaits. Oh yeah. Huh. They're gonna have that catchiness and that like crunchy heaviness. I am here for it. So this should be the version that doesn't include the features. Anthony's gonna go insano mode on this one. I think that they did this version first without the features, and then the featured track was like a later idea. Definitely my favorite chorus I heard, considering Death Awaits, Move to Trash, and this track coming into the album. No call outs on this one.
Take me back to all the days, 'cause I'm afraid I'll never be the same. Linger on nothing, dust in the wind. Still the song remains the same. It's bittersweet how I can seem to change.
Definitely able to focus more on like the synth and stuff in this version. Let's scream into this. So dirty.
Take me back to all the days, 'cause I'm afraid I'll never be the same. Here's my love letter, dear evil.
We've got a good chunk of new stuff now, I believe.
Keep losing myself in the same wide black space. The same old questions running again and again. Barely recognize myself going lunatic. Why do I dwell on the promises I'll never keep? Clarify the storyline over my skin, so I'll never forget who I was and who I am. Singing sad stories all around, baby.
Okay, bass.
Please stay out of the line. I'm lost in my own head, growing the pain. Guess I can say I'm overstepping.
Ooh, those layers.
For a long time, watch her all my own life. I'm just a ghost in overdose, knowing I'm the only one to blame, only one to blame. Clarify the storyline over my skin, so I'll never forget who I was and who I am. Fossilized, transcend through the time. Carry over the fire, so they keep me alive. Force me to feel till I die.
This one makes me want to cry. I was gonna say, but I know I said the title track has all the best versions of Resolve, but transition to the chorus snuck up on me. Oh, this is the favorite so far, which may not be a common take, but I love that. Okay, into Bloodlust. Sounds like I have a name. Oh, I was expecting that to drop into some big explosive part. Keeping me on my toes. Ooh.
One last match in the back, going for a new lap out of control, 'cause the man is back. Just a madman's yellow moonlight, rather than my iris dead. See the truth right to wrong, stand up and face my crime. See where me as I am, feel my final breath.
They brought the piano in there?
I'll perish in the fire that I created. Yeah, I'll drag you all with me now. Just on me.
Can't stop me. Ooh. Hold on to your ass. Oh! Oh! I'm gonna wait. I'll wait till the end. In stone. Well, the first half of this album has only gotten better and better. Older Days, Continuum, and Bloodlust. I like the title track a lot too. I think Death Awaits would be my number, what is that, number 5 on the rankings thus far that we've listened through.
Read it in stone, I'm counting your names. Where did you go? Guess you crossed the last step. Beautiful souls, you will be missed down on earth.
Oh boy.
This journey ends.
Oh!
Maybe we'll meet in another place. Maybe we'll start again somewhere else. Maybe we'll roam, maybe we'll sleep. Maybe we'll leave without counting our time. Maybe we'll finally learn to forget. Maybe we'll love more than we hate. Broken my voice, I must confess.
There's like this hopefulness to it, but it sounded so sad at first.
Awaiting the fall, counting my mistakes. Wish I could have said goodbye. If I could stop the time, I'd write 1,000 songs and more to keep you alive.
What an interesting one. Has like that hopeful sound, but it also makes me want to cry as well.
Read it in stone, I'll carry our tales to
That felt short. I have no idea how long the runtime was. No time to process here. Okay.
It's just another day for you and me in paradise. I'm lazy, singing myself to sleep with lullabies. Don't keep bringing me down. What is that made of the dark? To feel the heart attack. Just give me one more hour to exist.
Yeah, if this ends as strong as it started and built up to midway through the album. Oh. Uh-oh. Comfortably dumb. I would be really interested to read the lyrics to all of this, but especially this one. Feels like the extendo buildup on this section. Oh! Oh, that hits. Very fair play on the extendo build up here. Ooh. Anthony's singing has always sounded really good to me, but the screams on this record are... Man, we are cruising through this album. Ignite. Oh.
Well, darling, trust me when I say, lately I've been quite unwell. Spent years searching for myself, living with somebody else. Need you to revive the faith, the morning light clearing up the haze. I swear you're my
That makes sound delightful.
my pride and my undying claim. On and on and on and on, easy falling more in love. Am I losing my head? Never easy for me to say.
Really different feel on this so far. Oh. Interesting melodies too. Guitars have a very different feel to them. I think that's what's like driving it the most. Melodies certainly tapped into that.
I hold you tight so you never leave. On and on and on and on, easy falling more in love. Something's happening.
Especially that like on and on and on and on. It just feels different. The piano's back. What does this chorus remind me of? Not a specific song, but a band. Going thick real quick. We are leading into it. Interesting. And we're already at Move to Trash, which I have on the channel. The music video was very well done for this. I've avoided this song since I found out it was on the track listing. The Bogdan music video. I just remembered that part with him and being like, he loves your song. It's fun. The version I have on the channel shows the music video. The snap, I forgot. It's a banger, but it's also sad when you look at the meaning of the song and the video and stuff. That groove. Forgot how much I enjoyed the riffs on this track. Back onto the playlist this goes. I honestly think in the context of the full album, I enjoy it more. Including the click, of course, a must. Big. I think 2 tracks, and the next track. So what I was saying was that this was the track that people commented the most about. Where's the reaction for New Colors? Where's the reaction for New Colors? But I was already pretty far into saving all of these for an album listen, so I had to ignore the masses, but I'm finally going to get to check out this track before the closer. Cool visuals.
Day number 1. Home star out of sight, still haggard from the fight with the galactic tides. Loved ones left behind, vanished with the light. Day number 5. I'm starting to get a grasp. Nothing in my way, yet everything awaits for me and billions of them on a quest. We're all the same, lost and alone.
Oh, yeah. Very cool visuals.
passing by, oblivious to the signs. If I can change their mind, then maybe hope still lies. Make that sea new colors, the beat and new sunrise. Am I their new leader? Am I just lost in time?
Wow, these vocals.
Let it happen to this one. We're all the same, lost and alone.
Ooh, this is the chorus. This is the one. Unless Moonchild's gonna come prove me wrong, but huge chorus. Oh. No build up, straight in. Oh, I see that acoustic there. I mean, I hear also. Oh, full body chills there. Very cool music video. Circles back to day number 1. Already at the closer. Moonchild.
Last couple of miles, scratching my tired eyes all night long. Empty road,
Resolve?
sleepless drives.
Okay. I like those riffs following the melody. That riff.
Faced a million storms but never lost sight. Flash back into time to tell the child I was. How found I've grown up all these empty roads and sleepless drives. Never quite felt like I'm fading. Narrow dancing in the wind. Here's to the path.
more very tasteful melodies.
Shuffling under the moonlight, tripping on every turn. Can't stop, won't stop, yeah. Staring straight into the sun.
I have no idea what's going on, but I'm feeling it.
Never quite felt like a feeling. Never denied my beliefs. Here's to the path I rode, to the highs and lows, to the friends we made and all the memories we've known.
Really not what I was expecting. I'm not sure what I was expecting.
Everybody say, everybody say.
Beautiful guitar. Oh. With the big finish. Wow. Resolve Human. Let's discuss. I am very happy with this. This will absolutely go on to the playlist for me, and it's a dynamic album, which I think is expected from Resolve, but I still was blown away by the creativity in showing off some of like those opposite ends of the spectrum to provide that dynamic throughout the album. Before I get into all of that, favorite tracks would be a little bit difficult on this one, but it's safe to say Continuum would be up there for me, In Stone as well. Both of those tracks had moments where they made me want to cry and felt tears in my eyes, and then other moments that were quite the opposite of that. So having a song kind of connect with you that way on the first listen, that's always a sign for me that I'm probably going to be playing that song a bunch. But aside from that, New Colors was correct in everybody commenting, asking for my video and stuff, saying I would really like the song, because that's definitely a favorite as well. I think there were some moments that took me by surprise and will require some more listening and processing for that reason. Moonchild would absolutely be one of those tracks, but Ignite was kind of unexpected for me as well. Some of the kind of different songwriting approaches here and different sounds that they tap into. You also have the very heavy tracks, you have Bloodlust and Comfortably Dumb, and then tracks that kind of ball those sounds into one, which is what I really like. I think going into Human and Continuum, you get that sort of both sides of the coin in one track sort of deal, but there are a lot of expansions on those sounds, which I really like. Moonchild definitely being one that surprised me, because while Ignite has that like, whoa, what is going on? This sounds almost sparkly and positive in certain places, and then not so much in other places, while Moonchild altogether kind of took me. The chorus, I think, really taps into some of the sounds that were laid down with this record, but still the whole approach to the song, some of the melodies, the guitar work coming to match the vocal melodies there, and bring in that mood and further it will take definitely more listens from me. I'm really curious to read through the lyrics on a lot of these tracks, but In Stone, Comfortably Dumb, those tracks strike me right away as tracks I want to read through the lyrics on. The singles click in really well for me. Move to Trash was better for me on the full album listen than when the song initially came out, even though I really enjoyed it when it first came out. I don't want to make it sound like I didn't like it. It just didn't really hit for me the way I was looking for after their last release. The title track off the last album is probably going to stay up there as one of my favorite songs that they've ever done, and it will be hard to top, but this album is a good challenger for that. It brings some new things to the table for me, and there was not really a track that I would match to the energy of Between Me and the Machine, but I've talked a lot on the channel about going into releases from bands who have done stuff I really like and not really looking for the part two or the comparable for that, but knowing what potential that kind of brings to the table and seeing the way this record played out. I think little pieces of everything I liked about that track are in here, but it feels recycled, kind of. It feels new and fresh, so that is exciting to me. I think they did a great job with creativity, with approach to these songs. I think some of them may not land as well for certain people. This is the conversation about roots that I have far too often. What what got you into heavier music, what stuff you grew up listening to, what you currently listen to that's outside of the genre. Some people have like certain things they hear in a song and it's an absolute no from them, and I think a lot of this album probably wouldn't click in for them, but I know on the opposite side of that there are a lot of people who will feel the same way that I do about this. My album of the year is very sturdily Heavener by Invent Animate, but this has been a year where we've seen a lot of really creative approaches in different ways. I think this is creative in a much different way that I would say like Johnny Booth or From Joy's albums from this year are. This is like creative in a way that I associate with Resolve. The use of synth, some of the really unique melodies in here, and then on top of that, I really want to emphasize how much I appreciated like the kind of quirky, different melodies that you get right away in Moonchild, and then off the bat the guitar coming to match that and drive it further, like I had mentioned. I think that kind of puts a period at the end of the sentence and like doubles down on that sound, which I really like. New Colors chorus is definitely the chorus of the album for me. I think in a perfect world there would be more stuff chorus wise on this that I loved as much as that, but I think some of this is just different approaches with the songwriting between tracks and such, and a lot of this will be a grower in the chorus department, because there was nothing that really didn't land for me. If I had to pick like least favorite tracks, it would probably be Death Awaits and possibly even Comfortably Dumb being down there, but that's not to say I won't revisit those, because I will. If I were ranking, all the tracks on this album, the things that spoke to me the most were the kind of blends of what I've talked about with their sound. The production on this, phenomenal. It's been that way with Resolve, so that was an expectation I had going into this, but you can hear all of the details that you need to. The synth work is something that I think really adds to their sound. You have some just really minimal approaches to. There are some points where you'll hear like some piano in there, and they don't go like, a full verse with all piano in it or something. It's more used a couple of times as like a transition or something, similar to the strumming, I believe, that was in New Colors before it goes into like it explodes into that final portion of the song. So kind of using these things that could be exaggerated a lot on the album and maybe would make it feel like it doesn't click as well as it does track to track, but instead of let's make it super weird and like just put this whole verse of piano or whatever the case, it's just used in a way that makes everything flow extremely well. Oh wow, it has gotten dark in here since I started this video. Oh, and now the sun I don't know what's going on. I might put a light up in a second if I haven't been talking forever. I haven't, maybe to some people, but anyway, looking at favorite tracks, things that stick out to me on first listen, that would pretty much cover it. I think the Older Days version on the album is done really well considering the order of operations in which everything went with that track. They had this album version first, and then they did the collaboration bringing in Paleface and 1056, who fit the song extremely well. It was almost a little weird to hear it without like the call outs and stuff, but overall that track keeps that same energy, and it's all Anthony, who is just an insane vocalist. He really shows his his colors. I was gonna make a pun on one of the titles, but I won't do that to you. But he really shows his ability to be a versatile vocalist and really drive a song. There are portions where it's super stripped back and what's really driving that verse or whatever is going on at that part, the bridge, whatever, it's different song to song. But when it's really minimal instrumentally and his voice kind of leading, whether it be melody or how much emotion, I think that was part of what stuck out to me from In Stone. There are just moments that feel where other people would polish certain things up so that they sound very clean in a production way. There are moments that just feel very emotional and raw from Anthony on this, and I love that. That was one of the things that really drew me to In Stone on my first listen, and a reason that it's so high up. That track just spoke to me on an emotional level, and the way I listen to music and the stuff that tends to stick with me most, I know that'll be a track I keep coming back to for that reason and more. I think that's the nice thing about having the sort of diversity that's shown on this record, is in the same song, something that was like the biggest draw to me, something else may be a grower and end up being even more of a draw to me than the initial thing, if that makes sense. So on my first listen, I'm really happy with this. I think looking at it as a full record rather than what my highlights of it were, what my favorite tracks were, and holding that versus their debut, Between Me and the Machine, I think this is a little bit more cohesive. It flows a little bit more consistently than Between Me and the Machine did. There were some tracks that I just felt like I really wouldn't find myself revisiting too often on that record, and then there were some tracks that I loved and that I played a ton that will go back on the playlist even after listening to this new album. But there aren't many tracks on this, if any, that I feel won't at least get a few revisits. Certain songs on this, like Death Awaits, I don't think will get as much playtime as the other tracks on the album, but looking at an 11-track record and really having 9 or 10 songs that will probably get a decent amount of plays, that's not bad at all. If I did see something different with this record, I wish a few more choruses, and I don't mean sounded the same. I don't wish that the chorus on New Colors was used in multiple tracks or anything, but I wish I had that same feeling of like, wow, this is huge. When listening to that chorus in that song, I wish I had that feeling more throughout the record, because I think they're really capable of that, and that's one of their strong suits. But having the sort of diversity in choruses here will work to their advantage, I think, because it brings in different people. There are different songs for different moods and such, and if you look at an album like Currents, The Death We Seek, it's a well-loved album. I'm still listening to it a bunch. My favorite tracks have changed. I felt like Unfamiliar was a real sleeper on that album that didn't get the credit it deserved. But if you don't like the approach to the choruses on 1, 2, 3 songs tops on that album, you're probably not going to like any of them, whereas with this, it's a totally different approach. So that is like a sort of, there's two sides to that, and I think that a lot of the chorus approaches that didn't hit me with that whoa factor on my first listen will still grow on me. There are still choruses I really enjoyed too. The opening track, the title track, Human, that had a beautiful chorus on it that I really loved. It just didn't have that same, like, New Colors chorus is unmatched. There's nothing that I would bring up and be like, this is, this could be my favorite over New Colors, but there's a lot of creative approaches to it that give it the diversity that I talked about enjoying in this record. But that would be something that I would say, because it is just so good, and it's something they're incredibly capable of. The chorus on the title track of Between Me and the Machine is just phenomenal. That whole track front to back is amazing. It's a longer song, and I still remember the first time I listened to it just being blown away by it, and I will never forget that first impression. I don't think it was one of those songs that hit me in a very special way, and now I need to listen to it when I'm done filming this because I miss it just from talking about it. But there are some new things here, but at the same time, it sounds like Resolve. It has their sound to it. It sounds like them freshening up and becoming more consistent, so I am happy with this. I'm not sure where it will. I have some heavy hitters on my album of the year list so far. Silent Planet still has an album coming. Tesseract put out an album the same day that this came out, so there is a lot to be listening to, but this definitely deserves a spot in the listening and in the list conversations. I'm just not quite sure where it will go, and with all of the other things that have already come out and are planning to come out, End's record, if anybody is into End, that comes out later this year. So there's some late in the game list contenders as well. We are closing in on September. Before we know it, it will be towards the end of September into October, and list stuff will need to be sorted. So let me know what you thought of this album, where it might place on your list if you already know that, what your favorite tracks were, all that good stuff. Let me know in the comments. Like I said in the intro, I will link all of Resolve's social media, promotional links, any sort of merch or physical copies that you can get of the album. I will include in the description of this video. You can also find my link tree there, which will have any link that you need related to my channel. That includes Twitch, Patreon, the Discord server, invite link, any link. But those three specifically are probably the important ones on Discord. That is where the community is based for my YouTube channel. We have a bunch of music lovers in there talking about things related and completely unrelated to music. So if you want to come check out the community, that link is there, as well as my Twitch, where I do all of my live streaming, music-related live streams. I do request streams every Tuesday, and I have a bunch of other streams planned that I'm trying to get into the works. I've just had some complications getting them sorted out, but they are coming likely very soon at the time that this is posted. Definitely before the end of this year, it should be a regular thing. So if you want to be notified when I go live, see what kind of streams I'm doing other than the Tuesday request streams, feel free to give my Twitch a follow, and then also the Patreon link, where I'm offering many different things. We're already voting on our 2023 favorites of the year, so we have a better idea going into December what stuff should be considered as the top choices for the Patreon crew. So if you want to come put in some suggestions, cast your vote to see what comes out at the end of the year for our Patreon 2023 list, feel free to join. There's a bunch of other stuff that I offer in there for tier 3. I do mixtape / playlists, which I update monthly with 20 to 25 songs per update, based around your taste, what kind of stuff you like listening to, what kind of stuff you don't like listening to. I try to avoid that sort of thing, curating a playlist. There's a bunch of other stuff I offer that is in there as well, additional videos, stuff talking about music, ideas for Twitch streams, all that sort of stuff. So if you're interested in checking out what I'm offering, that will also be there. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.